Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we got a special treat. It's a triple crown. That's right. We're going to unbox all three of these different kings from different eras. Now, if you like this kind of content and you like wrestling in general and you like unboxing wrestling toys, we're the channel for you. So please like and subscribe and tell your friends. But as you can see, we have Shinsuke Nakamura, we have the King Harley Race, and we have King Sheamus. Like I said, two of these are greatest hits, so they're re-releases of previous lines. And then we also have Shinsuke Nakamura from whenever he was King Nakamura. So let's, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with Shinsuke Nakamura. All right, as you can see, this is Shinsuke Nakamura in his all white, wearing a crown that we hadn't seen except for him wearing it. So I do like that. It's kind of like the belt. If you're a belt collector, maybe you're a crown collector. I like to collect all the different figures, but I can see where the niche is. Anyway, Shinsuke Nakamura looking pretty cool. He does come with mic holding hands, and then he comes with his special like dancing intro hands. Pretty plain Jane, all white, looks really, really good. The jacket looks really nice. I could see a lot of people, my biggest complaint would be, and maybe it's a lot of complaint with the other people's, we haven't gotten a Shinsuke Nakamura face mold, I think, since the very first time that they did his face scan. And I do not think that it looks close enough to Shinsuke Nakamura, but it doesn't look like Shinsuke Nakamura, in my opinion. If you didn't know who it was, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that figure. That's just my personal opinion. It's an Elite, but this is an Elite series all the way back to 96. Wow, talk about the Wayback Machine. Anyway, so this is Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the three kings. Maybe I should put out a manger and these be my three wise men. That's something. Maybe I'll go that route. All right, let's open up the next one. All right, story time with Dave about Harley Race. Harley Race, in my mind, is the first king ever of wrestling. He is the legit BA of wrestling. If you were a world champion and you got beat up in a fight and you took away some of the prestige of wrestling, it was like a huge black mark. So Harley Race would legit try to get into as many bar fights and win so he could prove his superiority in wrestling to be the NWA world champion. Now, story that I have is my wife, stepdad, owned a bar whenever we were dating, and he was trying to get a local wrestling company. So one night we're coming home and she turns on the answering machine. Yep, we're old enough to have answering machines back in those days. She hit play and all I hear is this scruffy voice that says, "Hey, John, this is Harley. You want to talk wrestling? Call me back." I knew right then and there I wanted that answering machine tape for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I have no idea where it's at. But the idea of being able to meet Harley Race haunted me for years. I wanted to so bad, but I never did. But that memory still holds true because at least I was able to hear him say something personal to somebody that I knew, which I guess is close enough. Now, Harley Race, whenever he was first starting out with WWE, apparently the rumor is that he actually went to one of the shows that they were having, and since Vince McMahon was impeding on his area, he went with a gun to go and like hold him up, I guess, or supposedly kill Hulk Hogan, but ended up coming out with a huge contract instead and working for WWE. So once again, it may be not true, it may be true, I don't know, but that's the lore behind what kind of a roughneck that Harley Race really was in real life. So this is a re-release. He was originally a part of a Walmart exclusive, sold out, could not find it. It's like one of the rarest wrestling figures that's out there. But Mattel, using their noggin and trying to get as much out of their money as they possibly can, they re-released this with pinless elbows, put it out there so jabronis like me can actually get one in my hands. I don't care if it's not the original. I at least got a Harley Race. That's all I cared about. Once again, this is my king. Whenever I think of king of the WWE, outside of the Macho Man, I think it's Harley Race, then the Macho Man. The rest of them are kind of like just crown holders. So speaking of which, let's go to the next one, who's another king, King Sheamus. Now, the last but not least of my three wise men tour is going to be King Sheamus. Now, before we get to him, I do want to let you know one of the things I forgot to tell you is that Harley Race, that crown does not sit on his head. It is just basically on there by the skin of its teeth. You touch it, it falls off. So just know that if you end up getting that wrestling figure and you open it up. So watch out because you could lose the crown. Now, Sheamus, I think this Sheamus is probably my favorite because before you had Bruising Brawler and all that, the Fight Night and that kind of thing, you had King Sheamus. And I think he was perfect for that role. That is probably one of my favorite Sheamus characters that he's had because it seems to fit him. As you can see, his scepter looks more like a shillelagh. He would not hesitate to use that. But there's just something about Sheamus that I think that if he were to have a group under him of like knights and things like that, it kind of fits him. Maybe it's just because he's Irish. I don't know. But that's just, there's just something about him that I thought was very, very entertaining. And I thought that it fit that he became King Sheamus. And did he dig deep into that role. Now, this wrestling figure brings that all out. You see that cool cape because who doesn't want a cape? You got that, like I said, the scepter that looks more like a shillelagh, and you have that crown. That crown you can pop right off, put it back on. It fits nice and snug. Kind of reminds me of Shinsuke's crown right there. But once again, this is authentic for him. And if you kind of look at it and you look at the packaging that's next to it, you'll see that it kind of gives him that look Loki kind. So I really do like it. I love this figure. I'm glad that I was able to get it through the Greatest Hits. I wasn't able to get it when it first came out. That's one of the things I do like about the Greatest Hits line. Now, do they kind of water it down every once in a while, that in the vault, by re-releasing brand new characters? Yeah, but sometimes you get some gems like you did with Harley Race and this King Sheamus that goes, I'm really glad that they produced this one and they let us get it again. So my take on these three kings. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about it if you like this. Please tell me, which king did you like the most? What king do you remember growing up with or, being a fan of? Until next time, be nice to yourself, be nice to others. We'll see you on the next time. Have a great day.